Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to La Vida Futbol. This is the second time that we are live, and I hope that you guys can hear me. I suppose you can because I see the volume thing going up and down. But yeah, what we're going to talk about today is women in soccer and how I think that women in soccer could make a little bit more noise, and by noise I mean just um, being proud of what's going on in women's soccer and expressing that and sharing it with the world. So for example, this year 2019, if you guys take a look at the thumbnail, is the women's World Cup, right? And it starts June 7th, and it goes for a month. So I think those are some things that should be addressed, and it should be all over it, right? If you're a woman in soccer, then you should be sharing those type of things, and just kind of letting everybody know. And even if you're not someone that is interested in sharing stuff on social media, just do it for the women that are involved in the sport, right? I mean, I think there's a lot going on with equal pay in the United States, with the women's soccer and stuff like that, and that's making noise right there. So that's a big shout out there to all the women, kind of making those moves and going after fairness, to say the least. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today, is kind of just sharing that with you guys, and whoever gets involved in this live video. But that's one thing, right? So in the thumbnail, I write, "Did you know?" Because what I mean is, do you know that that the women's World Cup is going on? Did you know that Germany is in the same group as Spain? Did you know that the United States has the same group as Sweden, who is always a powerhouse? Did you know that the coach from the United States is Jill Ellis, right? Did you know that the coach from the German women's national team is Martina Voss, Tecklenburg, um, right? So those are just some things that I would like to kind of expose, to everybody out there. Those are the coaches and the women that are being involved. So I mean, the reason that I'm going about this is because right now we have the under 20 World Cup in Poland. So Europe is very active with the whole World Cup situation, but that's for the boys, uh, or the young men playing in that participating in that tournament. But yeah, women in soccer, make some noise. Uh, Another thing that I want to kind of touch base on is the idea of making your own schools, and your own football schools, and coaching girls soccer, women's soccer, right? It can all go grow in that way. Um, I think there's uh, a lot of male coaches who who in a sense benefit from coaching girls, from coaching women, um, and nothing against coaches in general who are trying to help out and help the sport grow. But at the same time, what I'm trying to get at is that girls should get involved to volunteer. My philosophy was actually focused on coaching girls and coaching women's, as a licensed coach. And that's still part of what something that I want to do, um, but not exclusively, right? I have my football school, and which is open to both boys, girls, men, women, of all levels. But as far as teams go, I'm actually you know, I'm open to the different opportunities, um, and not exclusively trying to coach a women's team, um, because I think those positions should actually be going to women, right? I think that women should get involved, and while I also believe that it's also difficult, right, for women uh, to kind of progress from playing to coaching, because women get pregnant, right? Women get pregnant, and that is a period of their life where they really have to step away from sport, just because it's hazardous for them, and hazardous for their babies, right, and the development of their baby. So I think that's one of the one of the that kind of aspects of life that kind of stop and prevent women from kind of progressing in uh, to certain titles in sport, right? um, which is normal, I guess. It's normal because obviously there's things that people want in life. All right, so it sounds like I'm kind of um, just talking and talking, but this all goes back to, again, making noise. What is out there? Women that have football schools, or that are training. I have someone that I actually follow on Instagram, and it's Train Like a Girl Soccer, right? I follow them on Instagram, and what they're doing is cool, because they are female coaches coaching, and they're exposing that, and they're expressing that, and that's just exciting to see, right? It's exciting to see because um, it's being proud about it. And on top of that, they're also not they're not excluding boys, right? They're actually accepting boys, and having that being part of their whole football coaching situation. But shout out to Training Like a Soccer Athletics, for doing that. I think that's important, and that's what I mean, is that we by we, I mean just everybody, um, should be kind of sharing that, growing the sport as much as we can. Women's soccer in the United States is big, um, and a lot of that is also, I think, due to the success that women's soccer has had in the past. Winning World Cups, and Olympic Games, and the gold medal in Olympic Games. So that all goes. I think that all goes into the popularity in girls soccer. And you know it's not that it's not big for men. I think for men's soccer, it might even be bigger than women's soccer. um, but as a whole, I think soccer is very popular in the United States. It's just other sports are a little bit more, due to the history. um, but yes, so women in soccer, uh, at all levels, should start getting into coaching women, and sharing what they're doing, being active with what they're doing. I see all these different skills channels, and a lot of them, it's men, right? It's guys going out there and recording themselves, and I'm one of them, right? I also just started doing that as well, as part of my YouTube channel, is getting out there and recording myself, and doing drills and exercises and coaching and teaching, right? And yeah, I think that's something that uh, anybody can do, right? Anybody can go out there and set out some cones and really think about some sort of workout out of it and kind of share it, right? Because there's nothing wrong with that. So another topic in regards to making noise is that I want to talk about in regards to women and women's soccer is coaching licenses. Yeah, women in soccer should get their coaching licenses, and here in Germany, there's um, if you want to get your UEFA C license, you can do that at the local associations that are associated with the German Football Federation. Um, and there are courses that are actually specifically only for women. Which, okay, this is kind of like a double-edged sword, because first of all, I think that's cool. I think it's cool that that there's a course just for women. But at the same time, I think that's a bit of a disadvantage for both male and female coaches, right? Because in for example, my C license, there were 25, 24 coaches, and one was a girl. Okay, so in that experience, um, it was it felt it really just felt like a room full of guys, and in this case, in this scenario, it's very as a female, it's very easy to get overlooked, right? um but being the only woman, you also get you also get attention, right? Being the only woman, you get attention. And you know the I remember when this person was talking, uh you know everybody tried to be respectful and give an ear. And what I liked about it is that it was a different perspective, right? And I think that's when what I mean by it's a bit of a disadvantage for both male and female coaches to be separated in this sense, because there are things that female coaches can share with their male counterparts that male coaches probably wouldn't think of, or wouldn't see it a certain way, right? And that's something that I think could be beneficial with having a mixture of these things, is where you're not separated, and you get to kind of pick ideas from each other. And just because it's different, it just naturally, just different way of looking at things, different way of thinking, just different experiences as well, right? um, and even more helpful if it's a female that was coached uh, by females, and then kind of being able to listen to those experiences if they also had the opportunity to be coached by males, and being able to communicate that message. My brother actually was, for the last few years, he's a teenager, first of all. And he's 15. And for the last few years, his boys team was coached by a woman, and he was happy, right? So it's also possible the other way around, and things like that are important to be exposed as well. You know what I mean? Because I think I don't exactly remember when it was, but I think it was about 3-4 years ago. First woman to coach a men's team in Hong Kong, a professional men's team in Hong Kong. Um, So that took place, and I caught wind of that, just kind of browsing, and but that was something that I felt should have been exposed and shared from women, right? I feel like that was something that, you make noise, and you feel proud about that, and if anything, it should give you hope, right? It should give you something to, to kind of, um, look up to, and be like, yeah, if she can do it, we can do it, right? Because it's an example, and just, having that example there is kind of telling everybody that it's possible. um, so that's a little bit of something that I wanted to share with you guys. um, another thing another thing is that, going back to what I mentioned earlier, with males and female coaches, being united for coaching courses to get the licenses, and I said that could be beneficial, and I say that really from experience, because I did my master's, the soccer coaching master's, which, by the way, I think if you're a soccer coach, and that's something that you're getting into, doing the master's soccer course, um, at Ohio University, is definitely a great opportunity. Yeah. So, anyways, I say all that to get to the point now, that in my cohort, which, by the way, shout out cohort 8, you know, um, congratulating everybody who has finished, and good job. But aside from that, what I'm trying to get at is that, there were male and female coaches in my cohort, and the majority were men. The majority were male coaches. Um, but we did have some female coaches, and it was, for me, it was kind of, like I mentioned earlier, different perspective, right? Because they also, you know the as players, I think they've had different experiences, and I know that because I have a big family. I have 7 sisters. um, so if you consider my brother and I, then you probably tallied that up to 9. And I know that they had a different experience to the one that I did. Right, I definitely, as a boy, had more opportunities. Right, I mean, that's probably changed a little bit now, because I think there's a lot of youth players, both boys and girls, getting involved in the recreational game, and kind of, uh, working their way up to elite and competitive football. But I know that my experience was different, and talking to the female coaches in my cohort, I also, you know definitely got a different perspective of things. And so I think, shout out to Karen and Rosalinda. I hope your guys' seasons are going well. Actually, I think you guys are on break right now, because of high school. But yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, so different perspectives, and that's something that we can definitely learn from one another, right? When I was getting my B license, I um, I was actually I got feedback from the coach, or the trainer, that I had to take the test, the tactical test, the first time, and then the second time it was him and a female trainer. So I got feedback from these two trainers, and the feedback was different. The feedback was different, and that was nice, to hear. So when I passed, I was able to still get feedback from, a male trainer and a female trainer. Um, but they're, I think that's something that will slowly develop, and again, it's that making noise, you know, just kind of exposing the, you know, the women's soccer and the women's accomplishment in soccer, in sport, and you know, letting that be the root of the growth, right? And not making it and not sexualizing everything, right? There's also a lot of channels, not channels, but Instagram um, pages where it says like, oh yeah, women's soccer, right? And you know, I'm interested in following this exactly what I'm talking about. You know, the women that are making noise, and like I'm happy to follow, right? And see the activities that they're doing. Um, but some of these pages, they have a lot of followers, but it's kind of like it's focused on sexualizing women, right? And I think that's not the route. You know, that's not the route that's really going to legitimately help the development of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, which is making noise, but making noise of things that you can be proud about, right? Like you know, of the football, yeah, of the development of the game, and um, you know, those things you expose and you express, and you know, and slowly people will follow, right? People will follow because it's real, you know, it's a true thing, right? And whereas sexualizing is just attention, to get likes, to get followers, to get you know, just unnecessary you know, attention, really. But yes, so if you are a girl, a woman that plays soccer, then start sharing that the World Cup is this year, first of all, and it starts in a few weeks, June 7th, and will be taking place in France. um yeah, so make that known. Let people know that that's happening. Let people know that that's what's going on. And yeah, you know, share, make noise, be proud. And yeah, get your coaching licenses. Get your coaching licenses, and be okay with being the only woman there, right? Be okay with having, you know, all these characters around you. But that's it from my end. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.